not much of a review here. Was going to mostly just do a showing of the Freaks and Geeks, the complete series, Blu-ray Collector's Edition release from the fine folks over at Shout Factory. If you don't remember Freaks and Geeks, well, it's kind of understandable. They only had one season, one really, really good underrated season, and then it was booted off the air on whatever network they were on, and the last 2 episodes played somewhere on another channel. Maybe you might have seen it when IFC used to show it on their late night programming, which is where I caught my first glimpse of Freaks and Geeks, probably near 10 years ago. I don't even think it was. I think maybe it was around the time before they even started showing commercials on IFC, which would be known as the good old days, more or less. Basically, it's the trials and tribulations of some freaks and some geeks as they go through the typical stuff you're going to go through in high school. Of course, this takes place in the 80-81 time frame, I think, so therefore, you got nostalgia going for you as well. Now, that was before my time, so I don't know, but it still has all the same stuff every high school kid goes through, so, you know, anybody can relate to it. The gist of this, before I get into the insides of it, it's all new exclusive, excuse me, what in the world is that? It's basically, you get 28 commentaries from show producers, studio executive, cast members, crew, fans, over 2 hours of audition footage and deleted scenes from every episode, outtakes, bloopers, alternate takes from every episode, behind the scenes footage, original show promotional footage, a digital yearbook, and of course there's a conversation on here with creator Paul Feig and executive producer Jude Apatow. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Pretty famous guy now. Maybe he wasn't as famous back then. Of course, the cast here is full of people that wasn't really famous at the time when it came out, but are really popular now, like Seth Rogen and James Franco and Jason Segel and all those cool cats, and a lot more you'll recognize as you'll see the cast there. Like, these are people that at the time not appreciated. The show wasn't appreciated, but it was a very, very, very good show. I can't stress that enough. And you get all 18 episodes here. And there's our big box here. So they're not shorting you on anything. There was a couple releases before on DVD. Maybe 1 or 2, maybe. I can't remember offhand. But nonetheless, all the extras make it over to this. They're ported over with the new stuff. There's your booklet. Let me try not to drop anything here. You don't want to see me cry. But there's the book. I ain't going to flip every single page, because then what would you have to look at when you run out and purchase your own? But here's the fun thing about it. They went back, and there's this whole big thing when I wrote the review that I basically copy and pasted from the, I think, the press release on it or whatever. You get the 133, full frame version that you saw on television, and you also get those remastered, and you also get a second release here. This is the widescreen presentation of it. So this is it without the sides being hacked off. Really, really cool seeing that. I think maybe it even looks a tad bit better. Maybe that's just me. I like widescreen stuff. But if you are hardcore about the original format, there you are in the full frame glory with the black boxes on the side for you HD lovers out there. And there's the new one, which to me, I think that's really great. That's something that's going above and beyond, in my opinion, right there. And not much to see when you open the cases. There's just that and disc, and if I can get it to rotate over. There that is. All good stuff. All 18 episodes from one season. This is something that, in my opinion, deserved at least another season. But you look at it a couple ways. It didn't have time to suck. It's like Kurt Cobain. It was here, it was great, and then it was gone. It was taken from us unjustly, and you're left with great memories, and you're left with all good stuff and no bad stuff. This is, of course, a bonus disc here. That's just a bunch of extras. Really good stuff, credits and all that. So, Shout Factory, they do great stuff. The Scream Factory line, everybody loves that. That's personally my favorite. But they do cool stuff for everything. They did the box set for A Decline of Civilization or whatever it was, which I also reviewed that on the website. But these box sets are great, and it kind of makes me wish that their Scream line maybe got more love like that a little bit. We got the $80 now out of print cost you probably $100 Nightbreed set that was similar to this in a big old box. And we had the limited edition Halloween series that was like 15 discs. I don't have those. I have the basic ones, and I have every disc still, because I did reviews. You know, I still do reviews, and they sent me the bonus disc that was in the big 15 set, but I don't actually own that, which is the only two big gapping holes in my Scream Factory collection. But I do appreciate their stuff like this when they go above and beyond. It was a show, so I guess they kind of was back in the corner, but they not necessarily. You know, they could have just put it out like that. They could put one of those out and be done with it. And I'm sure later on they probably will, because this is limited edition. I don't know how rare this is. I don't see anything on it about how limited the quantity of it is. But if you are wanting this show, I would get it now, because this is something you just feel it, that this is something that's going to be really sought after, and eventually it probably will be gone, like all cool box sets and releases are. And you don't want to be like me when you're looking on eBay at those Halloween sets that you didn't get, or these Nightbreed sets that you didn't get, or sooner or later maybe the Freaks and Geeks sets that you didn't get, and somebody's like, $200 will get you these, and you're just like, I can't do it, but I want to complete the collection. I digress. Nonetheless, great release, great set, great show, great release all around. Shout Factory doing a great job. I really appreciate Shout Factory and everything they do. So if you like Freaks and Geeks, and I don't know anybody who's watched the show that don't, this is totally a must-own for anybody out there.